Welcome to Cold Brew Finance's end-of-day world currencies, stock markets and commodities wrap-up for Tuesday, March 25, 2025. Kicking things off, I'm Victoria Cashmore. Major currencies showed mixed movements against the greenback. The dollar strengthened marginally against the euro, marking its sixth consecutive daily gain. However, it weakened against the pound sterling and Japanese yen. Looking at week-to-date performance, the US dollar shows modest gains against the euro, but declining against most major pairs. Month-to-date, the dollar has fallen notably, down 3.9% versus the euro and 2.8% against the pound. The greenback declined against the Canadian dollar and Singapore dollar, both down about 0.25%. Meanwhile, it edged higher against the offshore yuan and Indian rupee, though gains were minimal. Year-to-date returns show the US dollar broadly weaker, declining against most major currencies. Notable drops include 2.2% versus the Singapore dollar and 2.5% against the New Zealand dollar, while holding relatively flat against the Indian rupee.
Looking at global stock market tracking ETFs, I'm Max Profit. Turkey led gains, rising 2.8% to 32.63. Indonesia followed with a 2.4% increase. Poland broke out from sideways movement, gaining 1.7% while maintaining a strong positive trend. Spain and New Zealand also showed strength, advancing 1.6% and 1.3% respectively. Week-to-date returns highlight strong performance from Turkey at 6%, while Poland shows impressive year-to-date gains of 39.3%. Spain has maintained consistent growth with a 24.9% year-to-date return. Indonesia and New Zealand are showing negative year-to-date returns. Among declining markets, China dropped 1% and has closed lower for 6 consecutive sessions. Philippines fell 0.9% in its third straight declining day. Ireland slipped 0.88% during its fourth consecutive down day. Austria and Denmark also declined, despite Austria maintaining a strong positive trend. Despite recent weakness, China maintains a solid 17.4% year-to-date gain. Austria shows resilience with a 23.7% year-to-date return. Denmark is down nearly 2% week-to-date, while Philippines and Ireland show minimal year-to-date movement.
Considering commodities, I'm Liquidity. Gold futures at 3,026.10 is showing a very strong upward trend despite flat trading for 3 days. Copper futures hit a new all-time high at 5.23, breaking out from sideways movement. Silver futures gained 2.3%. Year-to-date returns show copper futures leading with a substantial 29.8% gain. Silver futures follows with 17.1%, while gold futures has advanced 14.6%. Aluminum and palladium show more modest gains. In energy markets, both Brent crude and crude oil futures have recorded 6 consecutive up days, showing upward volatility. Natural gas remains flat, while heating oil broke out from sideways movement, rising 1.3%. Week-to-date returns show heating oil and crude oil leading gains at 1.4% and 1.1% respectively. However, year-to-date, most energy futures are negative, except gasoline showing a 10.1% gain. Live cattle futures surged 3.7% with upward volatility. Class 2I milk dropped sharply by 5.8%. Feeder cattle broke downward from consolidation, while lean hogs maintains a strong positive trend. Month-to-date returns highlight live cattle's impressive 9.4% gain. Class 2 milk continues its decline, down 6.9%. Lean hogs and feeder cattle both show modest gains, around 3%. Grain futures showed broad weakness. Wheat fell 1.5% with strong negative momentum. Rough rice broke lower after 5 flat days. Oats dropped 1.6%, marking 3 consecutive down days. Week-to-date returns show weakness across grains, with wheat down 3.5% and oats declining 2.8%. Year-to-date, oats lead with an 11.2% gain, while rough rice has fallen 6.5%. In soft commodities, coffee futures maintained a very strong upward trend, closing at 398.40, up 5 points for a second consecutive day. Cocoa and cotton futures both showed very strong negative trends, with cotton consolidating in a tight range over 4 days. Looking at year-to-date returns, orange juice has declined 44.51%, while cocoa is down 31.11%. Coffee stands out with a positive return of 24.6%. Sugar and cotton show more modest movements.
And with that, we conclude another end-of-day world currency, markets and commodities wrap-up. I'm Victoria Cashmore, along with my AI co-hosts Max Profit and Liquidity. Thanks for watching. Look for daily wrap-ups every day just after 5 p.m. New York time. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Cold Brew Finance is an experimental project with market reports written, narrated and delivered totally by AI, with market data kindly provided by financialmodelingprep.com. Always seek professional financial advice before making any investment decisions. Check into the channel daily for coverage of stocks, crypto, currency and commodities. Thanks for watching.